All right, so here's the deal. I'm on my way to see one of my buddies. He's a Jeeper as well. He's got a beautiful JL, one of the first people to get one. He's also got a JK. So he has some rock rails that he's willing to part with, and I'll have to make them pretty to get them onto the Jeep, so I'm gonna have a little bit of work with them. I do have my standard step rails on my Jeep. I don't really have a problem with them. The only issue is in the winter time when I'm getting in and out of the Jeep, my leg bumps into it and I get stuff onto it. So for me, I would like to get something a little more close to the frame of my body so I don't have to worry about getting stuff on my pant leg all the time. So I'm on my way there. Let's go get these rails. It's beautiful, man. There's nothing like a nice drive on a sunny December day in the Midwest, and you got all the empty fields because the crops have all been turned over. To each their own. I love this time of year. And look at that JL. That is pretty. Man. Let's go see what he's up to. All right, I'm here with Skinner, about to pick up these rails that have been through a lot, so I'll let him kind of tell you about it, but they're a little bit of historical value, I think, to him.
Yeah, there were a lot of memories made with these on the old Jeep. They've been to Moab, to Colorado, Windrock, all over Kentucky, Michigan, all kinds of places. The Jeep is an 08 JK, and it's a Rubicon, and these are the factory rails that came on it originally, and you know, I haven't destroyed them. There's a few, you'll find some dents and scrapes here and there. They've done their job. But anyway, these things, you know, the paint is in great shape, the frame, everything is in great shape on that old Jeep. And but these things, the rust got a little bit ahead of me, and you started to be able to see it here. And I had two options. I could refurbish these, which they're good enough that they can be refurbished. But what I did was I found on Craigslist a set of them off of a 2015 JKU Rubicon, and the guy took them off of his Jeep when it only had about 500 miles on it, and put some custom rails on it, and he set these in his garage, so, or the other ones in his garage. So I picked those up for 50 bucks and took them over to Line-X and had Line-X completely cover them and seal them, so they have a whole different look. But this is what they look like after they get treated with Line-X. They're a little dirty, but boy, that stuff's really nice. And if you scrape it or rub it, they can patch it, repair it. You know, the stuff's pretty tough though. I've had it in truck beds, and I had a YJ, a 93 YJ, that I took all the interior out and had Line-X sprayed all in the tub because I was sick and tired of, you know, running all summer with the top down, getting a downpour, and then, you know, popping the drain plugs, draining it out, pull the carpet out, dry it out, clean it. I just decided to spray the whole thing with Line-X in there and let it rain. Keep the drain plugs open, and I just let it rain in that thing, and it never, you know, was never an issue. So that Line-X held up super, super well there too. You know, these are easily within, you know, they're easily salvageable. They're gonna need some grinding and stuff, and then, you know, I'd probably would hit them with some Rust-Oleum rust reformer once you get the main rust ground down on it. You know, there's a couple of spots maybe need to be pounded a little bit back into shape, and then hit them with some kind of a truck bed liner and just seal them off. And you're better than me at you know, being patient to grind stuff down.
We don't know yet if I'm any good at this. We're about to find out though.
Well, you're more patient than me, I know that. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see what you do with them, and give them a new lease on life and get them on that Jeep, and then you know, at some point we plan a trip somewhere fun.
So you can see in the back here I have the rock rails. Just left this house not too long ago. I'm gonna try to get them cleaned up and get them put on the Jeep and just see how they go. So let's do it. All right, I'm back with the rock rails, getting ready to get started on grinding them down a little bit, but let's take a look at them real quick. So let me show you what I got going on here. You know, I have spots here that I'm gonna grind out a little bit, and then coming down this way. That'll just need to be worked out, cleaned up. And then the fronts of them are not too bad. These spots will come right out. Same thing on this one. I'm gonna go for it and just do my best. So let's get started. All right, one of the first things I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start with trying to get off the end caps before I get going on it, just so I can open it up and shake out whatever's on the inside before I even get to the grinding part. So let's start there. I don't know if you can see that real well. So that's all the mud and rust that came out of the first one. Not too bad. Auto clips to hold it in place. So once you get those auto clips off, these come off a lot easier, just like that. So. All right, so here's where I'm at. I finished the first one, or getting the rust stop coat on. Let me show you that real quick. Looks pretty good, I think. I think it looks pretty darn good, considering it looked worse than this one to start. Once I get done scraping and then grinding the rust off, I'll spray this one real quick with the rust stop as well. And then when they both get dry, the next step will be starting the truck bed liner. So let's do this. Replicate the process and then hopefully have these coated in the truck bed liner today. Give them a few days to get nice and hard, and then I'll put them onto the JK here. So we'll see if I can save these, give them a little longer life, Obviously you heard the story, and you know, they're not too bad of shape considering how old they are and what my buddy put them through. So, another man's junk, another man's treasure. It's interesting where you see most of the rust. It's typically on these corners. All right, now that I have it primed up, I'm gonna go ahead and start hitting it with coats of truck bed liner, and hopefully, you know, hit it with a couple coats over the next couple days. And then when I feel like it's really dry, I'll worry about putting these rails back together. So that's what I'm gonna currently do. So let's get spraying. So this is how it's looking. To me, that's pretty darn good. So, I don't know about you, but these look like they're gonna turn out really well. So give them a little more time to dry, and then hopefully get them onto the Jeep soon after that. So, looking good, looking good. So I'm in the process of finishing up these rails. So I just need to put the caps back in. And I bought the new push pins to lock them in place, just like that. So you can see it's on there very solid now. And then let's move on to the next one. Do the same thing. Now I did sand these down just a little bit. My thought is hit it with truck bed liner as well. So I'll be doing that after I get them all on there. Now I do have these little gaps along the edge. I think what I'm gonna do is put a little caulking in there before I spray it. All right, before I switch out these rails, let's take a look at what the Jeep's looking like before. I'm gonna get them on. Let's do it. So I got the first one on, it looks great. It's right up against the body like I wanted. It'll be a lot easier getting in and out of the Jeep to not get my pant leg dirty in the wintertime. All right, so here's what it looks like with the finished rails on outside. It's looking pretty darn nice, folks. I love that look. Look at that. What a difference. So I have a feeling this summer I'll have to take it off and touch them up, but man, that looks really good. Just goes to show you what a little elbow grease will do when working on your Jeep. So I love it. If you like what I'm up to, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Catch you later.